Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a Sudoku variant, hybrid Sudoku actually, on our channel. So this Sudoku is constructed by Pesto, and I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. So this hybrid Sudoku was given to me by the author himself, and he said that it would be really great Sudoku to cover on our channel, a very interesting one. And I really like the the design of this Sudoku, just the 159. So the constraints that we are using in this Sudoku is that we are solving today is 159 constraint plus a Renban constraint, right? So there is a hybrid Sudoku with two constraints, 159 and Renban. So let's see if we are able to solve this Sudoku. So I really love the design of this Sudoku, because just with the 159 constraint and a very few Renban lines, this Sudoku seems to be a unique one, right? I'm really excited to solve this one, and I could say it's a really an excellent Sudoku, and I really thank Pesto for such a wonderful Sudoku. Even before solving, I can say this will really be a wonderful Sudoku. I will really enjoy solving this one, right? So let's see if we are able to solve this one. And before going to the Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on daily basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to the Sudoku here. So classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition. And you have 3 columns that are marked here, that are columns 1, column 5 and column 9. Column 1 indicates the place or the position of 1 in a particular row, which means if you have a 5 here, which means 1 in this row will be in the 5th cell. If you have a 6 here, 1 in this row will be in the 6th cell. If you have a 7 here, 1 in this row will be in the 7th cell. That is what the column 1 indicates. The same way column 5 indicates the placement of 5 or position of 5 in that particular row. So if you have a 1 here, which means 5 would have to be in the first cell. If you have a 7 here, which means 5 would have to be in the 7th cell in that row. The same thing goes for the 9. Easy, very easy constraint, but very powerful one, I would say. The next thing is the Renban lines. The lines indicate that the digits would have to be the consecutive digits in any order. So these 3 digits would have to be consecutive, can be 3, 4, 5 in any order. This can be 3, this can be 4, this can be 5. That is what the Renban lines indicate. And with that we should be able to solve this Sudoku. Let's see if we are able to solve this Sudoku. So how do I start it? Oh, that's an excellent piece of logic used here with the 5, I think, because what I know about 159 constraint is, in every box you have 3 cells shaded, right, for the 159 constraint. So in every box the 3 cells shaded would have to be categorized into 3 different digits. The one digit would have to be the lower digit, that is 1, 2 or 3. One digit would have to be the middle digits, that is 4, 5 and 6. And the third digit would have to be the higher digit, that is 7, 8 and 9. You cannot have 2 higher or 3 higher digits or 2 lower digits, 2 middle digits in any box in the 159 shaded region. So in these 3 cells, one would have to be the higher, one would have to be the lower, and one would have to be the middle digit. The same way these 3 in every box, which means these cells can only be particular 5 digits, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because one higher digit, one lower digit would have to be in these these 3 lines. In these 3 cells, one higher and one lower digit would have to be, and the highest lower digit is 3 and the lowest higher digit is 7. Including these 2, there are 3 more digits, that is 4, 5 and 6. That is awesome. That is excellent way to start this Sudoku, and which means 3 and 7 would have to be inside the shaded region, right? So they cannot be outside. So which means 3 and 7 would have to be a 9 having in it, because it's in the 9th column, and here 3 and 7 would have to be a 1 having in it, right? and if you have a 1 here, 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, so this cell would have to be a 1. That gives you a position of 1 for the column, that means this cell would have to be 8. So this, if you have a 1 here, which means 1 is in the 8th cell, and that gives you a position of 1. Same way you have a 9 here, 9 cannot be here, 9 cannot be here, so this cell would have to be a 9, which means it is in the second cell in that column, in that row. And if you have a 9 here, 8 here, which means these 3 cells would have to be 7, 6 and 5. 5, 6, 7. Same way these would have to be 3, 4 and 5. So it's nothing but symmetric, right? Quite symmetric here. You have a 1 here, 1 cannot be here, 1 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. Which means 1 cannot be here, 1 would have to be in one of these 3 cells, right? You have 4, 5, 6, 7 quadruplet here, and this cell cannot be a 7 because you already have one of the higher digits here, that is 8. So 5 and 6 would have to be a 1, which is 5 and 6 would have to be a 1. Same way you cannot have a 3 here, would have to be 4 or a 5. So 4 and a 5 would have to be a 9, that is here. 9 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. This cell would have to be 1, 2 or 3, right? So which means if you have a 1 here, these 2 cells would have to be 2 or a 3, and you cannot have anything here due to the Renban constraint. Which means you cannot have a 1 here. Okay, you cannot have a 1 here, and 1 would have to be here. That's done. Six would have to be in one of these 2 cells, so 6 cannot be here. Same way, 4 would have to be in one of these 2 cells because 4, 5, 6, 7 quadruplet. So 4 would have to be in one of these 2 cells, so 4 cannot be here. So these 2 cells, 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 9, right? These 3 cells are 1, 2 and 8. Am I right? Yeah. So which means 2 would have to be here. 9 cannot be here. 3 and 4 would have to be somewhere here. So these 2 cells are 9 and 9, 3 or 4, right? 3, 4 or 9. 9 would have to be in one of these 2 cells, so these 2 cells will have to be 3, so this cell cannot be a 3. 3 and 4 is here, so this cell cannot be 4 as well. This cell cannot be a 2. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, okay, we are not sure of it. 1 cannot be here because these 3 digits would have to be 1, 2 or a 3. And you have 2 lower digits in the same box in a 159 constraint. So 1 cannot be here. This cell would have to be 1. Same way 9 cannot be here. You will have 2 higher digits in the same box. This cell would have to be a 9. So which means this cell would have to be a 4. And for the 1, this cell would have to be a 6. That's nice. 5 and 7 will eliminate 5 from this cell. 4 and 6 will eliminate 6 from this cell. Same way this 9 would give you a 4 here. So it eliminates 4 from this cell. 3, 5 and 7. Which means this cell would have to be a 4, this cell would have to be a 6. That 4 eliminates 4 from this cell. That Sudoku is getting done, guys. This 2 will eliminate 2 from this cell. This would have to be either 8 or 9. These cells would have to be 2. It would have to be 2, 4 and 9. Which means 1 would have to be either in these 3 cells, these 3 cells and these 3 cells, right? Which means 1 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be on the line, so this cell would have to be a 1. Which means this cell would have to be a 5. 9 cannot be here, cannot be here. Now, what was I doing here? So this cell would have to be, okay, no, 1 4 and 9, 1 would have to be here. That is done. This one gives you a 5 here, so that eliminates 5 from these two cells. 9 cannot be here, cannot be here. You can still have a 9 here, that would give you a 5 here. Not possible. You cannot have a 9 here because the placement of 9 will give you a position of the 9 here, and which means that would be a 5 here. You cannot have a 5 here. So 9 in this column would have to be here. That gives you 8 here. And the only, okay, 5 and 7, this 9 would give you a 5 here. So this 5 is gone here. So that gives you a 7 here. Nine cannot be here, cannot be here. You will have a 9 in one of these three cells, which means these three cells would have to be 6. So it is 1 and 6. Yeah. So if you have a 2 here, which means 5 would have to be here. Not possible. So the only possible digits here is, cannot be 2, cannot be 3, cannot be 4. Can be 5. 4 is also not possible because the Renbans here, you need to have at least a gap of 3. So 2 is possible, 3, 4 is not possible, 5 is possible, 6, 7 is not possible, 8 is possible, right? These are the 3 digits that are possible here. We already eliminated 2 here. We can eliminate 8 as well because having an 8 here would give you a 5 here. The position of 5. You already have a 5 here. So this cell would have to be a 5. So somewhere you will have 2, 3, 4. Somewhere you will have 6, 7 and 8. 5 is in one of these two cells, which means one of these cells would have to be 8. So this is nothing but 6, 7 and 8. This is nothing but 2, 3 and 4. 4 cannot be here. 2 and 3 would give you a position of 5 here. 3 cannot be a 5. So this cell would have to be a 2. That gives you a 5 and a 7. Right. So 2 is not possible. 7 is not possible because a 5 would have to be somewhere here. So 7 would have to be here. That gives you a 5 here. 3 and 4 would have to be 5. 3 is not possible. This would have to be 4. That gives you a 5 here. That gives you 3 and 4 here. That removes 4 from this cell. That gives you a 3 here. That gives you, okay, 6 and 8 is here, right? 6 can also have 5. 8 can also have 5. Okay. This 4 gives you a 6 here. 4 here. That gives you 8. 6. That 8 gives you a position of 5. That gives you 7 and 3. That 7 gives you position of 1. 3 gives you position of 1 here. That is 8 and 2. This Sudoku is getting done. That gives you a 5 here. Sorry, 5 here. 6 and 8. So this is 6. That is 8. That is 9 and 2. That is 7 and 3. That is 9 and 3. We have done all this for now. This cell would have to be a 5. 2 and 4 here somewhere. So this is 2. That is 4. 7 and 3 somewhere. That is 3. That is 7. Right? 8, 9 and 6. 6, 8 and 9. 6 cannot be here. Cannot be here. This is 6. These cells would have to be 8 and 9 in any order. And that gives you a 7 here. That gives you 7 in these two cells. This would have to be a 3. That gives you a 3 here. 1 means that removes 2 from this cell. 1 would have to be in one of these two cells, right? 7 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. So this cell would have to be a 7. That eliminates 7 from this cell. This cell would have to be a 7. 2, 8 and 9, right? What is this? This cell would have to be a 4. That eliminates 4 from this cell. So 1 cannot be here. The fourth cell. 1 is in one of these two cells. 9, 4 and 8. So 8 and 9 here. 4, 8 and 9, 4, 8 and 9. 1, 2 and 6. What is this cell here? 6 here. So this cell cannot be a 6, which means this cell cannot be a 9. This cell cannot be a 6. These two cells are 1 and 8. Now how do I complete this Sudoku, guys? That is 9, 8, 1. If this is a 2, 6, 1, yes, this is a 4 here, that would be 8, that would be 1, 2 and 9. 2 cannot be here, so 2 would be here, 9 would be here. Nothing is happening here. Come on, guys, nothing is happening here. Something we might be missing here. This is a 9. This would have, that 9 indicates the position of 9. That would be 1. That would be 8. Oh, 1 and 8 is gone here. Wait, I'll go back. If this is 9, again, am I selecting this? This would have to be 8. And that position of 9 gives you, this 9 gives you position of 9, which means this would be 9. Oh, so both 1 and 8 are used here and you cannot have anything here. So this cell cannot be a 9. This would be a 2 here. That gives you a 1 and 8 here. Removes 2 from this cell, 4 and 9. So it removes 1 from this cell. That gives you a 6 here. Remove 6 from this cell. This is 8 and 9. So this is 1 and 6 pair. So you have a 6 here, that is 1, that is 6. This one gives you a 2 and a 1 here. That 2 gives you a 2 here. That 1 indicates the position of 1, that is 9 and 4 here. That 4 gives you a 4 here, 8 and 9 here, right? That gives you 8, 9, 8, 9, 8 and 9. Congrats. Wow. What an excellent piece of logic that was. Awesome puzzle. At the end, that was a tricky part here. At this point, I was lucky to find that, but sometimes I still took a quite lot of time to find that. But it was an excellent piece of puzzle, guys. Really enjoyed this construction. Awesome puzzle. And thanks, Math Pesto, for such a wonderful puzzle. And you were right about this Sudoku. It's an excellent Sudoku. Really deserving Sudoku. And I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. So do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel.